And let's end the turn. Yeah, you're right, Marauder. Where, because they're railguns and armored trains and strategic command, okay, I think it could be appropriate the way I've seen this game work, and we'll show that in a moment. Okay, German anti-tank advancement 1, 10 supply trucks for Germany and 10 for Italy have been added to the pool, and our convoy sunk 1 group. So, an effective, we can see here, partisans are breaking out here. I'm having, as we're seeing this, a little more quibbles with the way these partisans are outbreaking, in that I have 3 divisions sort of around Brussels, and there's enough partisan activity to need to micromanage that short of a movement. I totally get the idea that I shouldn't just like abandon Western Europe, send all my forces east, and have no, hey, thanks for following, have no forces in the west to suppress either partisans and or naval invasions. So the idea of needing forces to reduce partisans, I fully agree with. The idea that I've got to micromanage it to, you know, that it doesn't have sort of a zone of control to some degree, and I've suggested the idea of an added auxiliary unit to a regular division or corps would be military police, to give it an even greater zone of control. So yeah, these guys will come to there. And so armored trains, particularly as a rapid, and we're going to put these on regular trains, but we can't go there because those partisans are blocking the rail unit. So they've damaged the, and we can see here how the supply is now cut because of that, because we can see 99999, and we're not speaking German, and then we go 7 to where the damage is, and then 6 5 4 3 4 3 down to 1. So they're cutting the railways here. And it's probably, I don't want to, well, I guess I could move up to there. Well, I think we're going to push into Greece and not worry about that. So, and especially if you're looking at something as large as the Soviet Union, armored train unit that really is just a partisan, you know, whack-a-mole type unit. I could see that as, and in the Soviet Union, we've been informed, I've not played into the invasion far enough yet, that partisans can actually be a unit on the map as well in the Soviet Union. I presume they would not need supply and probably not be terribly strong, but out there. And so if you've got to whack-a-mole them, got a lot of areas, I could see armored trains as being useful for that. And we can make one right now. Here we go. This division here, the 3rd Corps. What we're going to do is here, we have specialty points. So instead of a heavy armored unit on the map, or a heavy artillery unit on the map, like we have in Strategic Command, which could sit back here and bombard other units, we can just use our points here. We cost 100, we have 266 currently saved up. We're going to give this, and you can see now the little dot up there, call it the shield or whatever. Now this unit has heavy artillery assigned. Railway guns could be seen as specialty siege weapons. that I can see even at a core level game, because if you look at it, particularly, well, almost all the big railway guns, they're at minimum core assets, which which would be attached to the core, but maybe more. Some of the bigger ones are more army assets. They're under the army HQs. So for besieging a Moscow or a Leningrad or a Stalingrad or the Crimea, that having railway guns, I could see that as something on the map. So I'm just sort of like, oh, hey Alvaro, good to have you here. No problem. We're just glad you're here. Yeah, it damages rail, but we want to keep that because, like, and I totally get the idea of them damaging the rail, and I agree with it. But with having, say, and I did have right here, I did have 3 divisions. This one started it in this hex here that I moved to there. Didn't suppress this partisan enough that I have to manually get here to shut that down. I thought was a bit much. Now here, there was nobody in this area, no forces here, and they've cut my railway lines, which I think is very appropriate. And so now I've got to move forces in to secure the railway lines, and here they're getting ready to do. So we'll do that. But I think a zone of control for anti-partisans would be a good idea. That's just my viewpoint. And again, that doesn't make my viewpoint correct in the game wrong. It's just how I'm sort of seeing this and how that's going. And I totally agree with the idea that they can cut the rail and supply, and that you need to maintain the security there. Okay, now let's see if we can go into Greece. So we have our current setup down here. I think we're going to have, yeah, let's do this. And I'm actually going to save this first. Big step. So we're going to bring Italy into the war. Oh, banana nana. Yeah, 2-player. It does. So you can have an Axis and an allied player. But the AI so far has been making very good, as we can see, like defending the river line and whatnot. Really good decision so far, I would say. Okay, so we can see going to war here. Click on Italy. They want to go to war with the UK. And they want to go to war with Greece, which forces Germany to go to war with Greece, which is now part of the Allies. All right, so we have a lot of air units. I want to deal with this here, because I want to push down into here without going through their zone of control. So, airstrike. Airstrike. No, they can't reach. Yeah, we'll do one more airstrike. Okay, yes, good. All the way down to... So they pushed into here. Let's come into the mountains with our 5-to-1 and push them back to there. Very good. Okay, well, now we're going to swing around there. They're going to come down here, and we're going to use these. across the river to... Okay, well, that's exhausting them heavily. Let's... travel down into here. And move into there. I just basically move into there. Now I want to help the Italian pride here, and we're going to concentrate our attacks there. Oh, for everybody, Alvaro is the lead dev for the game, so pay attention to whatever he says about the game. He knows what he's talking about. And I'm very glad to have him here as part of this. Well, Italians are unable. Oh, they were able to budge them. Okay, well, that's good. No, we're not going to do that attack. Well, the Italians were able to do a little bit of an effective offensive there. Now, down here, we have picked a moment that the British... I don't know why they have their HQ leading the front here. I think this is the Western Desert Armor Force, which is actually a fairly smart position, but and they had their air up there. I don't understand that. So we've got that. Now we're going to, let's see, are there any? No. British Navy, we want to attack this turn. Oh, we want to shift back to ground attack. Eight to 1. Very good. Now I probably should have had supply trucks starting this turn, but I, well, forgot, quite honestly. Now I'm going to move, overrun the air. Very good. So we've overrun the fighters there. And we're going to bring up the HQ to keep that there. And that armor is worrying me. That's the Western Desert Force, I believe. Yes. So that is worrying me a bit. Yes, just declared war on them. Absolutely, Alvaro. Which very well, they could not maybe, not expect that, I guess. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was the very first turn. Yeah, currently it's just for sale at the Matrix shop. So, keep that. Oh, there's the fleet. I didn't see them there. Let's... Oh, 8 damage, 1 sunk. So we sunk a bunch of the British fleet. Yay! Yeah, as I've said before, even in earlier this stream, I don't think Matrix realized what big a hit this is going to be. This is going to be a very big hit, I think, in this space of this type of war game. This is doing really well. I really like it. Okay, mount motorized corps. Though it's not motorized, it's just infantry. Also, while I have your attention, of course, why can't we deploy units in East Prussia? I sort of kind of get it when it's cut off from the rest of Germany by Poland, but if we can deploy to Warsaw, I would presume East Prussia would be a thing. Not a production center. Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. These things, production center. Okay, no, that makes sense. Now I understand. Again, my thoughts aren't always correct. It just put you there and you there, and yeah, no Italians ready to deploy. Okay, currently stockpile of trucks 80 for Germany, 52 for Italy. Okay, lots and lots of stuff. Yeah, I want more air. I'm really like using the air in this. Yeah, don't anticipate that there's going to be. They've so far put a big if they release it on Steam. Hello, Terry 2. What is, or 21 PL? Okay. How you doing today? All right. Okay. Have we dealt with our Navy? Did I remember to do this at the beginning? No, I didn't. Haven't. Again, the 2 dots on the naval units. Zooming in, these 2 dots mean there's 2 action points to happen here. So we will just use one to get to the convoy route, and the second one to do the raiding on that route. Hello, Drogan needs. Sorry, I'm butchering that, I'm sure. Yeah. Oh, they're stuck because of the weather. Right. Okay. So that's looking good. Italy is now in the war. So what we're going to also do here is, I've been wondering about the armor. I didn't want to overly deal with too much supply, so I haven't moved them to North Africa yet. Now these look like they're going to be a nice little corps to help invade the Soviet Union, or army group, I should say. And I'm not sure if I want to use the 2nd Armored Corps that I have. Move you to the rail line. Use them in the Soviet Union instead of North Africa. I'm figuring I probably need to move at least 1 good German Armored Corps to North Africa to help fully take it, but that's sort of the thought, but not one of the river crossing ones. Well, you have all the Nile stuff in here. Maybe you should have the river crossing one. That's an idea. Okay, I think we're ready to... Well, let's look at research. Better long-range submarines. Well, that might be a thing. I think we're going to try to increase Italian armor. Capabilities, and we'll wait for the escort fighters. That's only 9 days away. And maybe push a bit more there. We've already got to the 40 level attack submarine, so let's do that. Germany. Yeah, we'll leave that for the moment. And what is, hello, Scott Clinton. Yeah, every game you sort of need to sort of understand the audience for it. And what it's set up to be. I like and have played a bunch of the war in the East. I find it very enjoyable. But it's focused. It's just the East, or I haven't played War in the West. It's focused on this. I like that this is, you're deciding between the theaters and what you're wanting to do here. We want to come heavy, hard, and fast and just overrun the hell out of the Soviets. So we're moving these cores. You know, they've done studies that show very much that if you watch a YouTuber play a game, even if it's a linear story game, you know, there's only one right answer to get through this story, you know, so it's not going to change in different playthroughs, and you know it beforehand. People still want to play the game after watching it played. I find that interesting and very true, because when I watch a bit of Fly Daily's War Thunder or XR or XTRG games or other things, and that makes me want to play them. Most assuredly, one Fields of Glory 2, if I watch some of that, it makes me want to play that game more, because I really love that game. So yeah, all of that. I'm just sort of checking here. Okay, production, we're stockpiling. We need to stockpile. Okay, we're upkeeping. Guess we're basically getting the Romanian army up to speed. Oh yeah. Oh, I totally recommend watching YouTubers play the game before spending money on it. I would be doing that as well. Okay, we're going to end this turn. Not that I know of. Yes, Historical Gamer, he's another good YouTuber, most assuredly. And I'll plug myself, of course, Gamer1745. Find me on Twitch under that, Gamer_1745. And there's a link there, as well as you can just search on YouTube, find out. Okay, Bulgaria signs the tripartite pact in exchange for territory from conquered lands. Bulgaria joins the Axis. Germany naval targeting advance, submarine attacks advance, and no convoys. One convoy, no convoys sunk. Okay. So convoys are being sunk or not, and we're going to move you down to here. You to here. Again, we can come to this thing and see the convoy routes that are currently active. Turn that off. I think we're going to come back up towards home with that subgroup. Thanks, Arno. Oh, I'm sure that having this game out in the wild now, and not just a few beta testers playing it, is going to have a lot of, I didn't know you could do that kind of thing, and need to, I don't know if correct is the right term, but okay, let's look at our supply situation here. Okay, well, so far we're doing decent in supply. We're going to fall back to here with these, put the armor up front. They're not really ready yet, obviously, to push there. So we're going to come up to here with this. I don't think they're going to push through the desert. Keep the HQ up close. We have a lot of air power. Yes, you're hearing gardeners out there. And so, yeah, very, you know, sometimes I definitely know of games that whether I'm going to actually really like them or just sort of, okay, I will buy them pre-order, but I've even had an owner or CEO of a different game company agree with me on Twitter. Yeah, you really shouldn't pre-order games. You should take a look at them first before doing that. And so, yeah, I would very much suggest that. Now we're going to switch over. We could start pounding airstrikes on this army unit, which would be useful, but instead we're going to no battle, didn't find them in the rain. Okay, there. Ooh, damage, one sunk. And another one damaged. So we're going to fly these Italians, and we're going to switch them over to naval attack instead of ground attack. And naval might not be so obvious that you would need to have a switch over, but do you want to strategically bomb a production hex city combo unit, or do you want to strike the air unit in it, or do you want to strike the ground unit in it? So these other three are, and of course you can have a strike the naval units in a port, as I'm just thinking about this. So yes, that I can even see that as being. So we're going to try to sink as much. Couldn't find them in the rain, and couldn't find them in the rain. Okay, so we got some reasonable hits on this fleet, whatever it is. Ships, one with a battleship left. Okay, because we did sink one. Okay, now we're still pushing into Greece here. Well, okay, that's beyond their operational range. Well, let's hit them harder. Good. I've really come to accept that we need to hit hard with our forces and not just tickle them, as it were. Boot them, not tickle them. Who am I referring to? Guderian, yes, you got that. No, unfortunately it's gardeners. I live in an apartment complex and I can't control when the gardeners are outside. Unfortunately, sorry about the extra noise. No, not worth it. Not worth it. Okay, we're gonna just continue to rely upon here. We want to use both of these, take this out so that we're not having to deal with their zone of control. Come down here again. Push them out of the way. Oh, that would take all of it because again we have to fight their zone of control. Well, let's see if we can get this unit out. Okay, we're going to retreat these guys up to here. Which pushes them out. There. Okay, we've used up all of our effective air power. That's not terribly effective, so they get to hold for another turn because of bad weather. Well, we can move these forward. Bad weather's slowing me up. Okay. Now back to production. Stockpiling, stockpiling, stockpiling. You can really see the upkeep now is really heavy on the Italian forces. Let's put you on rails. Send you over here. Which it should. It's not a complaint. It's just seeing how things are going. Okay, again. Okay, what do we... Oh, we have... Ah, yes, our... naval bombers. Yeah, let's move. We're gonna keep you safe back here, relatively safe. I don't think they can get to you. And now to deploy our tactical naval bombers there. Help deal with fleets in range. Okay, we have 2 mountain corps coming, one soon. One probably before we go after the Soviet Union as well. I am being very conscious in my mind on fuel usage. Don't know how desperate that's going to get for operations in the Soviet Union because currently we are getting well, Sweden is blocked. Okay, because of winter operations. I'm not sure exactly why Sweden is blocked, but I'm guessing it's overly winter, overly snow, double layer snow, as I'm guessing here. But we see from the Soviet Union we're getting 10 oil. We're shipping out 14 oil to Italy to keep them operating, and 3 to Hungary and Romania, so they can stockpile some oil, mainly to keep their aircraft flying, as I'm understanding this. So incoming from Romania is 40 oil, 10, so we have 50 coming in there, and 75. That sounds about right, because Germany did have oil deposits of their own. And I don't know if it's on the map or accounted for, they did get some oil deposits in Czechoslovakia, minor ones, more were in Germany. And then of course they were also doing synthetic oil during the war, and that continued to build up heavily during the war. The bigger problem was Allied bombardment of synthetic oil factories, which disrupted it more than their lack of building more factories. And they had plenty of coal to convert over to oil. You can hit T. Can you hit T for me near Norway? Sure. We're getting the Oslo down here. So, yeah. Yep, we own Narvik. I'm not sure why it's not happening there. Let me hit the supply. Oh, well, it's probably the partisans that are showing up there that may be disrupting it. So let's put. Oh, gotta close this. That's right. Okay. Let's put these on rail. Oh, we only get to here, and then we get to roads. So okay. Onboard ships to Narvik. Off ships. Okay, they'll deal with that soon. We'll move you down to watch the port and any invasion possibilities there. So that's why it's going. Yes, we've addressed that now. Lack of railways going up there, sort of. We do it. So yeah, and so because of our saying oil is historical, Germany had oil problems. So I want to build more armor, but I'm afraid that we're going to use it up, but I don't know. Use up too much oil. Okay, mechanized core uses 2 oil. Armored core uses 2 oil. 41. Yeah, we will do this because we will want it eventually. Okay. Oh, is there anything? No, Italy is just maintaining itself, which is fine. It has a lot of units. More than I can effectively put on the front line at the moment. Still not sure what I'm going to do about this guy. Whether I want to send him down here or send down a German armor unit and send them up to operate here is probably what we will do. Yeah, that's probably what we're going to do. Oh yes, every turn. Yeah, partisan activity. So we're getting partisan activity here, which is going to cut our rails eventually. So we can look here also to see on the supply map, which shows us that partisan activity in here. I don't know if HQs help help produce partisan activity or not. We'll put these guys on rails to get them down here. We probably could use a couple of more security divisions in Yugoslavia. Port supply interdiction. Not sure what's interdicting, how that's happening. I'm not saying. Okay. Not really sure. Okay. Separate from a core. Well, they do have divisions in this game. And my thought is, like these specialty points, is to have a specialty points for military police. Now, I would probably have it cost less than 140 or something to be able to add military police to a division that would have a greater, probably about this zone of control that would reduce partisans anywhere in that area to, you know, non-functioning. So you just spread these out over the area, reduce down your partisans. Bomber, okay, bomber within 8 hex is good. Like I said, I've skimmed the manual. Oh, it's these. Okay, it's this bomber here, probably. But I've not fully read it. You know, don't ever expect people to read your manuals until they're stuck. That's quite honestly the way most of us treat manuals for games. Once we're stuck and can't figure it out, then we go to the manual. We don't do it beforehand. And yes, I like that you have the dots on the naval and air units to show how much activity they've done or this so far this turn or lack thereof. Okay, we're going to end the turn. Yes. Yes. If there's enough problem, if I haven't figured it out instinctually of what's going on, then I do definitely go to the manual. But no, because, you know, as I read the dev diary and go, cool, that Alvaro started out with Third Reich, old Avalon Hill game, and so did I. So starting out with that as a basic premise of how this game is to work is, so conceptually I get this game. I don't have to read a manual to figure out the basics of how things work. But it's going in and looking at stuff in more detail. Okay, so we've sunk 4 convoys, 1 convoy, and this one is low on supplies, and we can look for the little yellow one, and I think it's the one that's been out here longest. Yes, so they were going to go all the way, we'll send them all the way into Brest. Get resupplied immediately. Now let's also quickly look. There are no British supplies going here. Okay, so if we were to, okay, it's already saying low supply for these submarines. Okay, so if we were to move an Italian bomber, which maybe is these down here giving us low supplies or something for Malta. Whether there should or shouldn't be a supply convoy needed route to Malta, I don't know. I would sort of think so, but I don't know. Okay, let's look at our partisan activity. Okay, well, close as I can get, and as close as I can get right now. Let's move these guys via railway. To here. The Army Group HQ. Now we want to finish off Greece. Well, the HQ can't attack, but I'm also hoping to reduce down. This has taken a lot longer than I would like. Pound them with air, bomb cities from the air. No, you're too far away. I thought so, and you're also too far away. Okay. One to 2. No, that just doesn't. Okay, well. Three to 2 will take. Okay, well, next turn we'll be able to come at it from more Well, unless we can count now. No, that's not good enough. But let's see, what can we do here? I really thought I was going to get Athens this turn. Rain, 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 go away. Hello, Ellen Devout. So we have that. We have stuff to deploy. So another mountain core. As any good German player has dreams of invading the Soviet Union through Persia and coming up north. We do. We have those dreams. I don't know how practical that is in this game. Okay, yeah, the railways. Well, a little more connected than historical. I don't think this was connected, or maybe it was down through here. One of these wasn't connected at the time, and you had to take a bus. I remember reading a 1930s article on it, and technically this railway that goes through here would go back into Turkey and then back into Syria because it was built during the Ottoman Empire period, but that's probably a little too micro for this thing. But yeah, so supply might be an issue coming through here, but boy, we want to do that. I don't know. And then of course I'm presuming again that mountain units will do well in northerly climes with lots of snow. So let's put this, okay, let's deploy this to Seton so we can put them on board ship. Now, again, I want to look at supply. Okay, so them being here, we've dealt enough with the partisans up there. They're still sort of stuck moving to there. Oh, they can come to there. And these guys get to go take Belgrade. So we need at least one more division down here to deal with partisans. So we're going to grab this division here since it's on the railways, and yeah, and maybe a second division here. To deal with things coming, I'm guessing, I'm feeling in my bones in dealing with Greece. So come down that way. Okay, airplanes and airfields. My understanding is that any of these, let me just click on one here that we can still move around. Okay, any of these hexes that I can fly to are perfectly fine to use as operational airfields. These, which I've not really used yet, build these, as it says, allows air units to land on a hex normally prohibited from having air units. So if I wanted to say put a couple of more airfields around here, you know, in the mountains where they don't already have enough flat land to naturally have an airfield, we can deploy some airfields. So you keep that in mind in obviously rugged parts of the world or whatnot. So that is how you deploy and you use the what the air operations are for. I really hope that they don't get after my aircraft there. You're very welcome, Navy. Infantry Corps large, 1940, Germany. Yeah, we'll put another one of those in the pipeline. Italy is still trying to just stockpile a bit, and these guys are slowly... Oh, let's look at Bulgaria. Okay. Bulgaria, very little production, very little stockpile. They're now in the Axis. Have some manpower. Don't know what use they are with just one corps, which seems to be awfully light on forces. Not that they had a, you know, very large army. Might be a couple of divisions would be good to add to that, so they could do anti-partisan work or something in, because they did sort of grab up a bunch of Yugoslavia and Greece during the war, plus deploy to areas outside their territorial expansion to do some anti-partisan operations. So it might be helpful. There. One last question. Hopefully it's not your last question. Have you any naval to naval battles? I've not done that. Well, I've had submarines and I've attacked submarines. I'm trying to think. Did I also engage fleets in some of my test battles? I don't remember fleet on fleet actions. I have gone after submarines, and I've had submarines gone after by naval vessels. Mostly, I'm not wishing to challenge the Royal Navy with my fleet. That's more of a tactical decision. Then, yes, thanks for following us. Keller Star, we do appreciate that. So, I'm planning on using Navy very appropriately in the Baltics to deal with whatever Soviets are going on. And I like to use naval air power to sink fleets as much as possible. Okay, down here. Now that we don't have a fleet nearby, well, let's see, we're at 86, and let's look at our supply situation. Okay, 4 up front, 5. Okay, so we're fair with that. Let's, oh, they're too far back. Okay, advance forward for future operations. Oh, no, damn, I messed that up there. They're still tagged as doing naval. That's right. I didn't need to move them up, so I wasted an operational movement point. Let's see what we can reduce down. So that will probably be a really supply fuel mess. So let's use a truck. It supplies them for 1 turn, or improves their supply for 1 turn. So let's come down here now and see what we can do. 1 to 1. Yeah, okay. Not so great. Let's retreat back. We need to bring a German armored unit down here. These guys can do ground attack, but not very effectively. Not affect much. The big thing is we got to get this armor out of here, get some occupation forces in, send 1 armor south to North Africa, and the rest, mentioning that, I think that's what we're going to do here. Is move that way. Okay, we have nice groups of fighters. Have this 1 reserve corps, which I've been sort of dithering on, whether I want to east, west, or some other direction. Just checking, yeah. Oh. I wanted to set up a convoy to Bulgaria. Don't think they have anything that uses fuel. Just sort of for maintenance. Let's throw them 3. Not too little? No, we'll do 4. We're gonna do it. Maintain that core, help them out. I don't know if they're ever going to get a stockpile big enough that we're gonna put in another unit or something, but just having that somewhat well funded would be helpful. Okay.